The phone lit up before the sun did. Amir reached for it without thinking, his hand heavy from sleep, his mind blank. He meant to stop the alarm. Instead, the screen showed a message preview, short and quiet, yet sharp enough to wake something deeper inside him. The name at the top froze him. Khalid, his brother-in-law. For a few was not his. For a few seconds, Amir just stared. The room was still dark. Sarah slept beside him, her breathing slow and even. He told himself it was nothing. Family shared phones sometimes. Messages arrived by mistake. His heart beat faster anyway, like it already knew the truth. He unlocked the phone. The words were careful. No clear confession. No obvious line crossed. Just closeness. Too much closeness. We need to talk soon. I can't keep pretending everything is normal. Last night meant more than it should have. Amir read each line once, then again, his fingers numb. The meaning settled in slowly, like cold water rising. He did not shake Sarah awake. He did not shout. He did not cry. He lay back and stared at the ceiling while the dark began to fade in too. Gray, every memory of the last few months replayed in his head with new meaning. The late nights, the short answers, the way Sarah smiled at her phone and turned it face down. He had noticed. He had trusted instead of asking by the time the alarm finally rang. Amir felt like he had already lived a full day. Sarah woke and stretched, smiling the way she always did. She spoke about work, about traffic, about nothing at all. Amir answered. When needed, his voice steady, his face calm. Inside, something had cracked open. He watched her move through the room, saw how normal she looked, how unchanged. That hurt more than the message. When she stepped into the shower, Amir sat on the edge of the bed, the phone still in his hand. He wanted to confront her right then. He wanted to hear her explain, deny, panic. Instead, he locked the phone and placed it back where he found it. Something told him to wait, to see how deep the truth went. Sarah left for work with a kiss on his cheek. It felt light, almost polite. Amir stood at the door long after it closed. The apartment felt unfamiliar, like a place he had entered by mistake. He went to work late that day. Numbers blurred on his screen. Voices passed by him without meaning. Every few minutes, his mind returned to the same question. How long? The betrayal felt heavy, not because it was sudden, but because it had likely grown slowly, fed by silence and opportunity. Amir had been busy building a life. Someone else had been stepping into the space he left open. Khalid was not just family. He was someone Amir had trusted without effort. Dinners together, jokes shared, advice given freely. Amir remembered lending him money once, no questions asked. Remembered defending him in arguments. The thought made his chest tighten. By afternoon, anger arrived. Not wild anger, not shouting anger. It was sharp and focused. Amir imagined Khalid's calm face, his confident voice, the way he spoke about respect and loyalty. He imagined Sarah listening, leaning in, choosing comfort over honesty. The anger did not explode. It settled. It waited. Amir left work early and walked instead of taking the bus. The city moved fast around him, people rushing, talking, laughing. No one knew his world had shifted. That made the betrayal feel smaller and larger at the same time. Small because life kept going. Large because his life would never be the same. That night, Sarah acted normal. Too normal. She cooked dinner. She asked about his day. She spoke about weekend plans. Amir watched her hands move, steady and sure. He wondered if guilt ever slowed them. He wondered if she thought he was blind. After dinner, Sarah took a call in the other room. Amir did not need to see the screen to know who it was. He listened to her voice soften, lower. When she returned, she avoided his eyes for half a second. It was enough. That was the moment revenge fully entered his mind. Not violence, not chaos. Something quiet and precise. Something that would force the truth into the open. Amir did not want to destroy lives. He wanted balance. He wanted them to feel exposed, the way he felt exposed now. He wanted to stop being the only one carrying the weight. That night he lay awake, building and breaking plans. He imagined confronting Khalid alone, watching his confidence fall apart. He imagined telling the family, letting the shock ripple outward. Each idea brought a brief sense of power, followed by doubt. Amir had always believed he was better than. Anger. Now anger was asking to be heard. The next few days passed in a blur. Amir watched everything closely. He noticed how often Sarah checked her phone, how Khalid found reasons to stop by, how conversations shifted when Amir entered the room. The evidence stacked quietly, piece by piece. No single moment screamed betrayal. Together, they formed a clear picture. Khalid, in his own mind, did not see himself as wrong. Amir could tell. He spoke often about unhappiness, about how people deserved fulfillment. Amir listened, silent, storing every word. Khalid believed feelings justified actions. He believed intention mattered more than damage. That belief angered Amir more than lies would have. Sarah avoided deep talks. She was kind, distant, careful. Amir wondered if she was waiting for something, for him to notice, for Khalid to act, for the truth to break on its own so she would not have to carry it. Amir carried it instead, each night. The desire for revenge grew heavier. It began to change how he saw himself. He smiled less. He spoke with caution. He felt like a stranger in his own life. Revenge promised relief. It promised an ending. Without it, everything felt suspended. Yet another voice spoke inside him. A quieter one. It asked what would remain after revenge. It asked who he would become if he let anger decide his actions. Amir did not answer. He was not ready. The betrayal had already taken something from him. Trust, ease, certainty. Revenge felt like a way to take something back. Control, dignity, balance. He did not yet know that revenge, once invited in, never leaves without a cost. As the days moved forward, Amir understood one thing clearly. This story would not end quietly. One way or another, the truth would surface. And when it did, he would have to choose not just what to do, but who to be. Amir did not rush. The shock had passed, but the tension stayed sharp, like a wire pulled tight inside him. Each morning he woke with purpose. Each night he went to sleep with questions. He moved through his days quietly, listening more than speaking, watching small details others missed. Betrayal had changed his senses. He noticed tone, pauses, glances. Every lie left a shadow. At work, he finished tasks faster than before. His focus surprised even him. The anger gave him energy. During breaks, he wrote notes on his phone. Not plans exactly, but thoughts. What he knew, what he suspected, what he felt. Writing helped him keep control. Without it, his mind raced too fast. Khalid began visiting more often. He came with gifts, with smiles, with easy talk. He spoke about family dinners, about unity, about respect. Amir listened without reacting. He watched how Khalid avoided certain topics, how his laughter came a second too late. Amir understood that Khalid believed himself safe. That belief was dangerous. Sarah sensed the change in Amir. She asked if he was tired, if work was stressful. If something was wrong, Amir answered gently, without details. He wanted to hear the truth from her, not force it out. Every time she chose silence, the gap between them grew. Late one night, Amir stepped onto the balcony alone. The city lights stretched far, calm and distant. He wondered how many people below were hiding something. He wondered how many were planning something they had not yet admitted to themselves. Revenge felt closer at night. The quiet gave it room to speak. He imagined a clean moment, a simple meeting. Words spoken clearly, faces changing color, truths exposed. The thought brought a sharp sense of calm. Then another thought followed. After that moment, what would remain? Families would fracture. Names would be spoken with shame. Amir's own name would be tied to the damage. He felt the weight of that outcome settle on his chest. The next day, Amir met an old friend for coffee. He did not share details. He spoke instead about trust, about how people change. His friend listened and said nothing for a long time. Then he said, "Whatever you do, make sure you can live with yourself after." The words stayed with Amir long after they parted. Khalid called that evening, invited Amir to drive with him, just the two of them. Amir agreed. The car ride was smooth, the road quiet. Khalid spoke easily, like nothing stood between them. He complained about work, about stress, about feeling misunderstood. Amir watched his hands on the wheel, steady, confident. Then Khalid said it? Not a confession, but a test. He spoke about how sometimes people fall into situations they never planned. How emotions can blur lines. How understanding matters more than rules. Amir felt the air tighten. He answered carefully. He said choices mattered. He said loyalty was not an idea, but an action. Khalid nodded, but his eyes hardened for a moment. Amir knew then that Khalid had justified everything in his own mind. He saw himself as reasonable, as kind, as right. That realization fueled Amir's anger again. Not loud anger, focused anger. He did not want to shout at a man who believed he was innocent. He wanted him to see the truth clearly, without excuses. Sarah grew more distant after. That night, she moved around Amir like someone avoiding sharp edges. Amir almost felt sorry for her. Almost he wondered if she expected him to explode. She waited for him to confront her so she could finally stop pretending. Her silence felt like another choice made against him. Amir began to plan more seriously. He chose words carefully in his head. He thought about timing, thought about witnesses. He imagined the look on Khalid's face when denial failed. He imagined Sarah's reaction when secrets could no longer hide. Each image pushed him forward. But the cost followed every thought. Amir remembered his parents, their pride in family unity. He remembered holidays, shared meals, laughter that had once felt real. Revenge would burn through all of that without pause. It would not stop where Amir wanted it to stop. One afternoon, Amir found himself standing outside the building where Sarah worked. He had not planned to go there. His feet had carried him on their own. He watched her through the glass doors, talking to a coworker, smiling in a way he had not seen in weeks. The sight confused him. Was she happy, or was the smile another mask? He turned away before she noticed him. The idea of confronting her there felt wrong. Revenge demanded patience. Acting too soon would only create chaos, not clarity. That night, Amir dreamed of water rising around him. He stood still as it climbed, calm but unstoppable. He woke with his heart racing and realized something important. Revenge was not just something he wanted to do. It was something that wanted to use him. The next days moved faster. Tension filled every room. Khalid grew bolder. Sarah grew quieter. Amir felt like the only one holding the truth carefully, waiting for the right moment to place it on the table. He tested himself. He asked silently what he truly wanted. Pain returned to them, or peace returned to himself. The answers shifted depending on the hour. In the morning, he wanted justice. At night, he wanted rest. Amir began to understand that revenge did not promise an ending. It promised a transfer of pain. The hurt would move, not vanish. It would feel powerful for a moment, then empty again. That truth did not stop the desire, but it weakened it. Still, the need for action remained. Doing nothing felt like surrender. Amir refused to be passive. If he did not choose revenge, he would have to choose something else with equal strength. The breaking point came when Khalid suggested a family gathering. A dinner, everyone together. The idea felt like a challenge. Amir smiled and agreed. Inside, his thoughts raced. That night could change everything. He prepared himself carefully. The rain started just before sunset. Light at first, then steady, washing the streets clean. Amir watched it from the window as he buttoned his coat. The sound calmed him. Tonight mattered. Tonight would decide what he carried forward and what he left behind. He arrived at the cafe early. It was quiet, warm, and dim. The kind of place where voices stayed low and secrets felt heavier. He chose a table near the window. Outside, people hurried past, unaware. Inside, Amir felt clear. His hands were steady, his breath slow. He was ready. Sarah arrived first. She looked tired, careful, like someone walking on thin ice. Her eyes searched his face for signs of anger and found none. That unsettled her. She sat down, folded her hands, and waited. Khaled came a few minutes later. Rain on his jacket, confidence still intact. He smiled wide, greeted them both, and ordered coffee. He spoke as if this were a normal meeting, as if nothing stood between them. Amir watched him closely. The ease, the comfort. The belief that words could smooth anything. Silence settled. When the drinks arrived, Amir did not rush. He looked from Sarah to Khaled, then back again. He felt the weight of weeks pressing behind him. He felt a pull of revenge, sharp and tempting. One sentence could break everything open. One reveal. Could flip the table, expose lies, shift the pain outward. He chose another path. "I know," Amir said. The words were simple, calm. They landed hard. Sarah's face drained of color. Khalid froze, then smiled again, slower this time. "Know what?" he asked, as if clarity could still be avoided. Amir did not raise his voice. He spoke with care. "I know about the messages, the calls, the meetings that were never supposed to happen." Sarah looked down. Her hands trembled. Khalid leaned back, crossing his arms, preparing to defend himself. "It wasn't like that," Khalid said quickly. "Things just happened. No one planned." "Stop," Amir said. The word was soft, but it carried weight. Khalid stopped. Amir turned to Sarah. "I waited for you to tell me," he said. "Every day I waited." Silence is a choice too. Tears filled her eyes. She opened her mouth, then closed it. There were no clean words left. Khalid spoke again, slower now. "You were distant," he said. "She was unhappy. I was there when you weren't." Amir nodded once. "That's the story you tell yourself." He said, "It makes it easier." Khalid stiffened. "You don't understand?" "I understand more than you think," Amir replied. "I understand how easy it is to turn feelings into excuses." The tension grew thick. This was the moment. Amir felt it clearly. He could go further. He could reveal proof. He could force confessions. He could watch them break under the truth. The power waited in his chest. Ready, he let it go. "I didn't bring you here to punish you," Amir said. "I brought you here to end this." Sarah looked up sharply. Khalid frowned. "I won't expose you," Amir continued. "I won't shout or shame you. That kind of revenge would tie me to this forever." Khalid scoffed. "So what, you forgive us?" "No," Amir said. "I choose myself." The word surprised. Even him. They felt right the moment they left his mouth. "I won't live in anger," he said. "I won't become smaller to make you feel the weight of what you did." Sarah began to cry quietly. Khalid looked confused, almost offended, as if denied a battle he had prepared for. Amir stood. "This ends here," he said. "Oh, whatever. You do next. You carry it. I don't." He left money on the table and walked out before either could speak again. The rain had slowed. The air felt clean. Amir walked without direction, letting the city carry him. His chest felt tight, then slowly eased. There was no rush of victory, no sharp relief. Just a steady quiet, like a door closing gently instead of slamming. That night, he packed a bag. Sarah watched from the doorway, silent, broken. Amir felt sadness, deep and real, but no regret. Some endings did not need noise to be final. The days that followed were hard. Amir moved into a small place of his own. The silence was loud at first. Memories crept in at night. Doubt whispered. He wondered if he had been weak, if revenge would have felt better. But each morning he woke lighter. He returned to old habits, long walks, early mornings, work done with care. Slowly his thoughts stopped circling the betrayal. The need to replay events faded. He no longer imagined different endings. News reached him through others. The family felt the strain. Questions rose. Khalid avoided gatherings. Sarah kept to herself. Consequences unfolded without Amir's hand guiding them. He realized then that he had not escaped justice. It simply refused to be its weapon. One evening, weeks later, Amir sat by the window as the sun dipped low. He thought about revenge and what it promised: power, control, balance. He saw now that those promises were thin. Revenge offered a moment. Healing offered a future. Amir understood that forgiveness did not mean forgetting, did not mean excusing. It meant choosing not to carry someone else's damage forward. The betrayal had shaped him, but it did not define him. In walking away, Amir had not lost. He had reclaimed himself. And that, he realized, was the only ending that truly mattered.